I want to thank Dan Baker, John Lee Evans, all of the National Peace Corps Association staff and board members, including the newly elected board members, welcome, for this important gathering, but really for all of the work that you do every day. We have just such an amazingly committed, robust, active alumni association that is nothing like I've ever seen. And it just, every time I'm able to talk about the Peace Corps and the lifelong service, the lifelong commitment to the values and the value proposition of Peace Corps and how we engage with the world, it is just such a tremendous point of pride. Congressman Garamendi said we've got work to do. And that is absolutely true. And as I said, the urgency and importance of that work right now at this moment in time cannot be understated. This is a pivotal moment. It's a pivotal moment in history. It's a pivotal moment for Peace Corps. It is a pivotal moment around the world. And I think about this quote in the context of the theme, Maria Wright Edelman saying, "Service is the rent we pay for being. It is the very purpose of life and not something you do in your spare time." And that is what Peace Corps is about and what we carry with us and how we show up in the world. As we gather today and think about what's coming up, I really do want to challenge all of us to step into that future and to really answer the call to serve and bring that opportunity to the next generation in whatever way you can. We are back in 57 countries, which is amazing. We've got a few stragglers that are facing non-COVID issues, places like Ukraine and Ethiopia and others that have had some other challenges that we're all well aware of, but we are working very hard to get volunteers back around the world and to build up that cohort. We are also looking at how we need to adapt. And I've talked about this in several different ways and at several different times, with this group and around the world. Peace Corps has a proven model of localized, community-led, person-to-person development that is able to reach the most vulnerable communities. We know that. We are good at it. We have honed this for the last 62 years. It is a model that has set us apart in so many ways from others working in international development. And now is our moment as the entire field is looking to localization. Administrator Power has set aggressive targets, ambitious targets for USAID to get funding into the hands of local organizations, to bring the voices of underserved communities to the table, to look beyond those people who might normally have access to opportunity and power. And we are in very important discussions with a lot of different partners to say, how do we leverage our strengths, leverage the magic of Peace Corps, and become an even more powerful force multiplier? How do we take that work to the next level to intentionally and systematically link what is the largest generation of youth in history with opportunity? We're trying to think differently about where we fit at the ground level within a large community of actors, and how do we leverage what we do best? I also want to share that as I have traveled around the world, what I am hearing from leaders everywhere I go is overwhelming demand for volunteers. And these are countries that we have been in for some time who have tremendous educational losses due to COVID, but also who are facing this youth bulge. And leaders are asking themselves, how can we create opportunity for young people? And what role can Peace Corps play? And it really struck me that when we talk about teaching English. We are not teaching English for the sake of teaching English. In those countries, English is the language of the internet. It is the language of learning. It is the language of business. It is a language of opportunity. And so I have had President of Benin asked me for 500 volunteers. Mongolia said they would take 1,000. They want a volunteer in every school. Just really tremendous interest, and not just for experts. The president of Benin really called out. He said, we will take your generalists because we see their enthusiasm, we see their passion, we see the hope, we see the spark that they bring when they are part of us and part of our country out in the villages where people may not have that hope. As of yesterday, we now have over 2,000 volunteers and trainees in the field. So that's very exciting in 57 countries. So this has been an 18-month process so far, returning volunteers post-COVID from zero around the world. I just want to leave you with there is tremendous demand for the Peace Corps. And we know the value of the Peace Corps. Conveying the value of the Peace Corps in terms that are both linked to the demand in the country, but also linked to that dividend that pays forward decades into the future and has real diplomatic value. And I had a string of ambassadors coming through my office during the Chiefs of Mission Conference from those countries that requested the Peace Corps, and a few that we've evaluated, saying, how can we get to yes? What can we do? And what I took away from that and what they conveyed to me was the urgency of getting volunteers into some of those countries based on what they are seeing on the ground right now, and also based on that long-term goodwill and the long-term diplomatic importance of that people-to-people connection. So I do think as we are out talking about Peace Corps, we have an important role to play in elevating people's understanding of what the Peace Corps is and what the benefit is to the countries we serve in, to the volunteers themselves, and right back here in America. As you all know, one of Peace Corps' great beauties is the creativity and can-do spirit that is the heart of this agency, to be bold, to innovate, to break new ground. And really the key now is getting as many Americans as possible to sign up and to join us in order to truly meet the needs of our host community. As the Congressman mentioned, it has been a struggle. There are many, many reasons that we can point to, including gap in overseas service, the COVID hangover, right? As people are a little bit more cautious, going into uncertain environments, the strength of the labor market, and Peace Corps is not alone. Other service organizations like AmeriCorps, Teach for America, even the military, are really seeing that we need to fight to really get people back up and out there. Recruitment numbers are coming back due to a large variety of factors, including the tremendous work of our recruiters who are out there really pounding the pavement. We've got our bold invitation campaign. This year, we are hoping to get to 10,000 applications. We're currently at 9,200 with just a few weeks to go. That is an 87% increase from where we were at this point last year, which is incredible. But it is down still 30% from 2019, which was pre-pandemic. The good news is that we are also seeing more diversity in our applicant pool. We are consistently seeing 9% of our applications coming from Americans over the age of 50, which is terrific. It was typically around 4 or 5% pre-pandemic. And 43% are identifying as being from a minority community or a community of color. Also very exciting. I am also thrilled, and this is something we've been doing to really ramp up our recruitment efforts here in the United States. We have a group of 14 host country national staff who are here working with recruiters and really talking about their personal journey and why Peace Corps is important to them and their countries. And hearing it from the voices of people from the host country really does shift the narrative. It gives us access to different diaspora communities that we might have a harder time accessing otherwise. And it really does show and represent how Peace Corps is invited to those countries and how communities ask for volunteers and why it's important to them. So with all of that, I think I would like you to leave with, this sense of knowing that we are pulling out all of the stops. We want to get to every American who wants to, is able to, so that they know about the Peace Corps and have a chance to serve. And we want to make sure that the diversity of our volunteers reflects the incredible, wonderful, beautiful diversity of our nation. I just want to reiterate that you, as part of the Peace Corps network, are so important. We need your help to gin up the energy and enthusiasm to get the word out and share that bold invitation campaign. If you're getting ads, we can send you the video or photos or anything that you need. And we also have, I think I've also mentioned previously, an ethical storytelling toolkit, which is very important in today's world, to make sure that any stories that we are sharing from our service are really told, with the permission of those we are telling the stories about, and in that spirit of cultural humility and partnership. So with that, I will just, sign off, say I'm so grateful to all of you. I'm grateful for your enthusiasm, your hard work. I'm grateful for you showing up on a Friday night to be a part of this. All of it shows that you care, showing up, being a part of the solution, and serving. Thank you so much.